All right, thanks for being here again. What we're going to look at today is we're going to have a look at GarageBand on iPad again, but we're just going to figure out how we can maybe get some samples that we might have in a sample library. Instead of using the samples and loops that come in GarageBand, what we can do is take samples from our library, store them on Google Drive or OneDrive, and then we can actually load them into GarageBand and use those in the timeline. So we're going to have a look at that. First though, if you wouldn't mind doing me a small favor, if you would hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell on the video here, and that helps me make more of these videos and it keeps you notified with more content that we might have. So we're going to have a dive in, and here we go. Okay, so now that we're looking at GarageBand here, basically all we're going to do is we're going to quickly listen to a couple of snare samples that I put in GarageBand. Okay, so we'll just have a quick look at that. Okay, pretty simple, really. The key to this is to make sure that what you've done is you've lined everything up to the grid. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, if you notice here, if we look at this Roland TR-808, okay, I'll just show you what I've got there. So we just picked just this standard virtual instrument, drum instrument on GarageBand, and there's a couple of drum sounds. So maybe you don't totally love those drum sounds. You want to use your own samples, or you've gotten a sample pack from somewhere else. All you need to do is just go back to your grid here. Okay, what you can do, and what I've done here, is I've just added another audio track. Okay, all we're really going to look at here is getting our samples out of our OneDrive or Google Drive or Dropbox or wherever you have them stored, and get them so that you can start using them in the grid within your track if you want to enhance the sound of your drums, for example. So what we're going to do now, just to have a quick peek at that, is we're going to hit the loop symbol at the top. What you can do is click on Files, or listen to me, tap on Files.
No, not that tab. No, not that one either. No, well, maybe. You know what? Maybe later. Not right now. Yes, that's the one.
And then at the bottom, you'll see it says Browse Items from the Files app. Okay, so you've got your own samples you want to use. You would just tap on that, and this will bring you to an area where you can browse for where you have the sample stored. So just tap Browse. So now you can go to Locations, and it shows you all of the apps that you may have installed on your iPad. Okay, so I've got Google Drive, iCloud Drive, obviously, it comes native with iOS, Dropbox, OneDrive. Okay, so where I had mine stored was in my OneDrive folder. So you can tap on that, go to Files, and navigate to where you have your samples. Okay, I've got all my audio files in here. Let's say I want to use some of Dave Ottero's drum shots, kicks, snares, toms. So you're just basically navigating to where you've got those files stored. Now, the only downside about this is that you can do one at a time. You can't, unfortunately, select a bunch of them and import them all. So you kind of maybe have to know what you're looking for. So let's say I just want a quick mixed snare, okay, from the drum shots. They always have like the actual individual mics, and then they do a mix of that one. So I'll take the mixed one, Doom Hammer snare. And now what it's done is it's moved it into, you see it right at the top there, it's moved it into my files area within GarageBand. So let's say I want to sample snare right here. Hit the loops icon, drag and drop that loop right where you want it. Okay, now some of them are going to be really long. So all you got to do is just grab the handle and bring it down. Okay. And if you want that to ring out, you can do that. What you want to do though is make sure that it's on the timeline. Okay, so that's where my snare is right there. You can see that line, another line, line, another line. Okay, so that's where I want it to be. So I just want to line it up. And then what you can do now is you can copy that, move down the timeline to your next snare hit. Okay, so you see that on the 808. Okay, and then double tap and paste. Easy, right? Double tap and paste. Okay, I want to keep going. So I've got my snare hits pretty much on the 2 and the 4 count of each bar. So again, double tap, paste. Move to the next snare hit, double tap, paste. And once you get going here, you can see it moves along really fast. If you've got like a standard, let's say 4/4 drum beat. So now what you can do is just bring it back to the beginning and let's have a listen. Okay. So you see how that made that snare hit on the 808 just like boom, crack, crack. It just had tons of more dynamic to it rather than just what you might get with an Apple loop or a sample that they've included in their drum kits here. So really you can do this with the kicks, you can do this with the toms, you can do this with whatever you want. And it's a fantastic way for you to get your own samples into GarageBand. So let's have another look at that here quick. So this was another sample that I had loaded there before. What you can do is use the mix. So let's say you want to just blend that in a little bit. Maybe that was just a little too much crack, a little too much tail on that. So just bring it down a little bit. Try again. See how it adds that reverb by turning the mix down? Okay. Try it again. Okay, easy. And you can do that with kick, tom, snare, whatever you might have a sample for. Let's say you've got the China cymbal that you want to put in there and you just can't find the right sound. You can do that. Download a sample, whatever you want. You want a person laughing every time that the kick drum comes in there. You can get a sample off of a free website, freesounds.org. You can download all kinds of samples there and import them in just like we showed you here through using the Files app within iOS, which is part of, baked into, I should say, GarageBand. Okay, so that's a really easy way for you to get your own samples in GarageBand. But hopefully this helps you out. Also, if you would do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell at the bottom, and you'll be notified of any other videos that we have coming out. And also links are going to be in the description below on different places that you can get some free samples, and you can check those out too. Thanks for being here, and keep making music. No, you don't need to do that.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, I understand. You tuned it for bass and acoustic. You gonna sing your song?
Okay,